You are listening to LeeAllure. Make sure that you are seated in a comfortable position with your headphones on for the best effects. As always, avoid driving and/or operating heavy machinery while listening to the sound of my voice. So I was making videos, trying to make videos, hypnosis videos, of course. And they weren't working out all that well. And I said to one of my friends that I felt like the only thing I was up for right now was possibly eating goldfish on camera. So, in the interest of science, of course, I thought I would simply read a script from Hypnotherapy book, which is a trance induction, eye fixation, and arm levitation while I eat goldfish. Don't expect too much from this, okay? But I encourage you to go into trance. I encourage people to go into trance all the time, and now is no different. The first thing I would like you to do before you continue to relax and enter into trance is to place the tips of your fingers very lightly on your thighs, with your arms in the air, elbows away from your sides, as if your arms and hands were just floating there. Fingers just barely touching the cloth, so you can just feel the texture. That's right. Fingertips just barely touching. And focus your full attention on those sensations in the very tips of those fingers where they just barely touch, where that floating continues. Because as I talk to you and you continue to relax and to pay close attention to those sensations, would you pick a spot there, anywhere at all, on that wall there? And begin to stare at that spot right there while I talk to you and eat my goldfish, really aware of how that spot there and of how an interesting thing is beginning to happen to one of your arms floating there, just above your legs, while you try to concentrate on looking at that spot. Because everyone knows how easy it is to learn something when you're comfortable. And sooner or later, everyone has the experience of learning something new when they're relaxed. So go ahead and allow that comfortable feeling to continue, with a recognition that after a while, you can also notice that your eyes naturally begin to get tired of staring at that spot until it becomes difficult to keep holding them there, or even really to keep them open. And it would be so much easier, so much more comfortable to close them. And you may do that as staring at that blurry spot seems to be too much effort to bother making anymore. But as you let them close very slowly, begin to close right now, you can also notice, as they slowly close, a light floating feeling in one hand or the other, or both. So that as the eyelids feel heavy and you continue to let them go down, an arm floats up a bit and then a bit more, floating away from your leg because it feels lighter. The eyes may seem to feel heavier. And as your heavy eyes continue to close, your light floating arm moves upward a bit more as it feels even lighter than before. And you can feel its lift upward. It drifts upward, almost as if by itself, more and more as you continue, bit by bit, to close those heavy eyes. And your light lifting arm floating up as you drift down with your eyes, arm lifting upward at times, and then back down perhaps, and then upward again, one small bit at a time, upward and then a bit more, like being pulled upward by a soft string. It may be difficult to tell exactly how much that hand and arm have drifted up, to tell exactly what position they're in, and it may be difficult to tell when that slow, effortless movement occurs more and more rapidly as it lifts up, lighter and lighter, higher and higher. That's right. That's right. And that arm and that hand could continue to drift higher and get lighter and lighter. But after a while, you may begin to notice now that as you allow your eyes to comfortably close now and your mind to relax, that the arm begins to feel heavier too, as it begins to move back down. And as you pay close attention to it, you may begin to notice how it feels now. How tired and heavy it is, as your unconscious mind reminds your mind to pay in more and more attention to how good it feels to go back down. And that arm moves down now as that heaviness increases, because it would be so comfortable just to allow that heavy arm to drift all the way down now, as you drift down into a comfortable state of relaxation, eyes closed, arms relaxed. That's it. And drifting down with it, you drifting down into a deep, deep trance as your arm relaxes and your mind relaxes as well. And you drift deeper and deeper as I continue to talk. Eyes closed now, and your arms and hands feel so comfortable. Your entire body comfortable, and relaxed. That's right. Hold on to how very good it feels to be right where you are. Hold on to how nice it is to know that your unconscious mind is capable of letting you sink down or rise up so very effortlessly. The more your unconscious mind practices all the good things it can do, the easier they all become for you. So drop down deeper and deeper while I eat my goldfish. Perhaps while you're there, your unconscious mind can notice that it just feels fantastic for your mind to empty itself out of all the thoughts you didn't need today, the ones that built up, the ones that perhaps are persistently there and cause you consternation or grief or sadness or anger. And I'd like your unconscious self right now to think about how incredibly good it can become for you to let those thoughts out. The more you drop down deeply, the more you allow those thoughts to escape. The clearer your mind becomes, and the more this state right here can be a state that you find yourself being effortlessly able to return to whenever it's safe and appropriate to make that happen. In fact, I wonder just how much better you can find yourself feeling. I wonder how much more deeply in trance you can go every next time you go into trance. I wonder how much more phenomena your unconscious self can allow you to experience, whether it's lifting your hand, whether it's being in a waking state of trance, whether it's accepting suggestions that you never realized were possible for you, but are. So sink down deeper and give in more, and enjoy that feeling, because you're getting better at doing a thing that is better for you. And the better you find yourself at it, the more amazing it becomes. On the count of 10, find yourself coming up all the way, feeling fantastic. And maybe with a smile on your face, like my little friend here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retaining that sense of relaxation and how good you can feel. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wide awake, feeling fantastic. Thank you for listening and watching me chat to you about going into trance while I eat some goldfish. Thank you for listening.